Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes, human being, American, and YouTube Baronin, and I'd like to welcome you to tonight's episode of Reserved Seats. All right, already in the chat, the tired midnight blogger, the voice of Northern Oklahoma, Curtis Selby, Faithful Blue Wrench, channel member, the bird woman of YouTube. Watch out for her channel. Fluff Chick Productions, Connie Clary. Channel member JPRPH1. Our man from the future, Sachi. HC 2005, sometimes known as Tim. All right, folks, we've made it through another week. My guests are waiting patiently backstage. So, let's not waste any more time. Last call, Troy Pacelli.
Hello, hello.
Natters Network.
Good evening.
And Aged Boomer.
Dave Filoni's my mentor. I mean, hi. Welcome to... I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Troy didn't laugh at that. You noticed that, right?
Dave Filoni is my moron.
I'm here to make sure that you guys don't say or do anything controversial.
No, we're all big fans of What are we fans of?
I'm not a fan of
What are we
anything
fans
anymore.
of?
I really don't. Culture Casino, Midnight's Edge, that Park Place, Fanzine. These are the things I'm fans of.
Retro blasting.
Retro blasting, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh.
All right. The lovely
Deleted
Sherry
Scenes.
has joined us. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hello,
Hopefully.
hello.
And of course, our resident Klingon, Mark Malnikoff.
Kapla.
All righty. Well, that's it. And
I was just going to say, that was a great show. Good night, everybody.
So,
fast.
Oh,
All right.
gosh.
So we're the Geeky Geezers. We talk about the geek news of the week. What did you learn tonight, Troy?
I learned that nothing that we love is ever coming back. We might get some sequels that, you can roll the dice on them, but by and large, the franchises are all dead.
It's going to be Gremlins 3, Goonies 2, Beetlejuice, right?
Right. Wait, there was another one. Oh, yeah, and 28 years later.
Yeah.
Because horror movies.
I'm actually looking forward to that one, to be honest. And it's coming out on my birthday.
There's really
actually,
no
June
reason it
20th.
shouldn't be good.
Yeah, because you have basically the originators of the series coming back, Alex Garland and Danny Boyle, who admittedly can be kind of hit and miss sometimes.
True.
But, and also, I'm actually more concerned with the fourth movie that they were shooting at the same time, which is this Bone Castle film that Nia DaCosta is directing. I'm a little bit more concerned about that, but we haven't heard anything yet. We'll see. So I've got some hopes for that one. A third Beetlejuice, I think it makes sense. You've basically set it up from the beginning that there's going to be a third, and probably should be one. So I got to watch the second one now. So
yes,
I don't really have thoughts on that one past, but we'll see.
okay.
That I don't know. I mean, we know that Hollywood is allergic to making original material, and I mean, there are good movies out there. Sinners is really good. I just saw that.
I heard good things about that. Yeah.
So there are good original movies out there. There are some not so good original movies out there.
Mickey 17.
Well, Mickey 17 was based on a book, which apparently no one involved with the film read, based on what I've heard.
Multiplicity, right?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I had that impression, like the book may be great, but I suspect that they just didn't bother adapting it.
No.
They took the title and they
they
had a big hit
it,
with the Minecraft movie.
Yeah, they made this dumb movie for 8-year-olds, and now it's made $700 million. Oh God!
Okay.
No, well, okay. If I mean, hey, all right, fine. If people are enjoying it, then
That saved.
I'm not going to dump on it.
That saved who
DeLuca and Abdi. Yeah,
Abdi. Yeah,
they were about to get fired.
They were on the chopping block.
Still may.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, probably. Because what was that one you were talking about earlier that they're involved in?
Oh, what are
Because
they
I know
involved?
that
Goonies.
Okay.
They're involved in the Goonies and Gremlins revivals.
Yeah. Okay.
They're signing off on those. Now, I will say Chris Columbus is involved in those. Amblin's involved. So, and he said he already had a script written for Gremlins 3 a while ago. So, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I'm not really in a hurry for a sequel to either of those. Really, I think they had their chance and kind of blew it. I don't know where a Gremlins sequel would go, and the only way I could think of a Goonies sequel working would be basically if it was this passing of the torch and he just basically do the original movie over again. I don't know what the story would be. That's the problem.
Should Johnny Depp be in the Goonies sequel and he could play a guy pretend to be a pirate?
Yeah.
That would be kind of funny, yeah.
Oh, wait, I forgot. Warner Brothers fired him too. Never mind. I forgot.
Yeah.
I kept thinking, does he get bad blood with Warner Brothers? And I remember, oh no, wait, there was Fantastic Beasts. Never mind. He got kicked off of that. That was Warner's again. Of course, people that did that no longer work there, but still.
Yeah, that's true. I would suppose it was up to him if they offered Captain Jack or Grindelwald back to him. I guess it's up to him whether or not he accepts. I mean, if they look, these people are made for, among other things, money. So, I mean, you can always just back up an armored car full of money, and it'll probably come back and do it. And to this day, you still have people saying that if there's going to be another Pirates of the Caribbean, they would rather have Johnny Depp back than have some new character come in and take that over.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I could see that maybe happening if they want to do another one. But that's always the problem with sequels, though. It's this law of diminishing returns, and after a while, people just stop going. You know.
Well, I guess we'll find that out with Jurassic World something something this summer, right?
Yeah.
Something.
Can't be as bad as the last one. I think didn't we already talk about this? I have a distinct memory of me talking to you Stephen, about the new
Mhm.
Jurassic World already, and like I'm like in a pattern.
Yeah. Well,
repeating
you were kind of trying to explain that film to me because I never bothered with Dominion. I didn't see it,
it wasn't
and
good. That's why you didn't
that
see it.
I'm
I I,
sure I
I
didn't
didn't
miss anything.
I didn't hate Fallen Kingdom as much as other people did, but like there were things I liked
Oh
about it.
Lord, yeah, that
I liked the first Jurassic World. I'll swear by that movie. I did enjoy that. That was a good time at the movies for me. But diminishing returns in that afterwards. But yeah, and especially with that last one. But I don't know. Is there anything coming out? There's Popeye the Slayer Man, but that's already in theaters, right? So
Is it
yeah,
really? I didn't even
yes.
know that was already out.
Well,
I have to admit, I have not seen. Huh?
Oh, right. Well,
What were you
well, I
saying?
was gonna say that now that Popeye is public domain, and they always have this tendency for some reason to want to do these things as horror movies first. And there's like three Popeye horror movies out right now, and I think there's like a fourth coming out here pretty soon as well.
oh
So it's just
man.
like it's almost like everybody had the same idea because you have Popeye the Slayer Man, you have Popeye's Revenge. I'm blanking out right now. I don't know what the title of the other one is. And I think there's supposed to be a fourth coming out like a month or two. But they have that. They have Screamboat, which is the evil Steamboat Willie movie.
Right.
Well,
And then you have this whole the Pooniverse, I guess is they're calling it.
Oh God.
And
That
which
phrasing.
yeah. Hey, phrasing. Which is of course the Pooh, Blood and Honey movies. There's the Peter Pan, Neverland, a Nightmare, which I have seen, and
oh,
for what it is, it's actually not bad. But they swing for the fences with that one. They really do.
is Tinkerbell
I'm
in it?
oh yeah, well,
Sort of.
Should I go into spoilers with it?
I don't know. Troy
Um,
may want to watch it.
I'm not one that
there
cares about spoilers anyway. So
there is a Tinkerbell, just not in the way you would normally think.
Okay.
so like a more traditional type fairy that like is not someone that you would really enjoy meeting in
Uh,
a enchanted
it,
forest.
let's say fairy is a good word.
Oh, it's more of the anthropomorphic type fairy.
Hmm.
Okay.
Like the stuff. Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
and where they go with Hook, because there is a hook in it.
That
Okay.
makes sense.
That's an even bigger can of worms. You know? Yeah. I don't know unless anybody in the chat wants me to spoil it. I don't know. No, nah. But it's very unapologetically what it is. You know? So it's like
Right.
I gave it props for taking a premise and going all the way with it the way they do. Hello to critically thinking and drinking.
Oh, hello. Mark says my cat's name is Tinkerbell and she's mean. Nothing like who she's named after. Actually, the Tinkerbell that I recall was kind of mean too. She tried
like
to get
Wendy.
Wendy killed. because she
Yes.
was jealous.
Jealous. I'm
Oh,
try-
and thank you so much,
Yeah.
Jonathan Conroy. He says, "Hey,
Hello, Jonathan
smash
Conroy.
the like button and enjoy the show." Thank you, my friend. Always good to
Mhm.
see you.
All right, so yeah, so we got we have an evil Winnie the Pooh. We have an evil Peter Pan. The one that actually looks like it's going to be a lot of fun is this Bambi the Reckoning, where it's like the
That's
killer
what I want to
baby.
see.
That one
Yeah.
actually looks like it's going to be fun.
Are there like drunken hillbillies in it that causing trouble with the deer? Is that a sort of thing?
Probably, I wouldn't
Oh.
doubt it. All I've seen of it is the teaser that plays after Peter Pan, because it's all supposed to basically connect to be kind of like this evil Avengers. If this
Well, they got to do an evil
kind
Pinocchio
of
next,
thing.
right?
I believe
Have
they
they not
are.
already done that?
Yeah.
That seems like that one's been
Well,
done.
well,
It's called Chucky.
well that one of the Silent Night, Deadly Night movies was a play on Pinocchio.
I remember. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, a horror version of Pinocchio has certainly been done, and I'm sure this one will get around to it. I know there's a bunch of evil Cinderella movies, including one that's out right now. That's like a Norwegian film that I've actually been hearing some good things about.
See, that one I want to see, actually. That
Yeah,
might be
the
interesting. Yeah.
Ugly Stepsister. Yeah. It's a Shudder film, and the thing it's one of those movies that they only show like once a night, so it's kind of hard to plan around going. But
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of curious about it. Mark Mounikoff says he can dig an evil Winnie the Pooh. Well, I got to tell you, the first movie is not good, but I'm hearing the second one is actually a little bit better, and I haven't seen it yet. It's on Peacock right now. I've got to
I
sit
think I
down at
made
some
it
point maybe and see it.
like 10 minutes into it, and I'm like, no. The Winnie the Pooh.
No.
Just like
No, I
Yeah.
don't think it was anybody's Winnie the Pooh.
this is totally off.
No.
Like it doesn't want to. It's wanting to keep the children's aspect but be a horror movie. Like you got to pick a road. That's how I was sort of feeling. But maybe
Yeah, because
maybe it got better as it went along. But I don't know. Just
Mark says it depends on which part of Pinocchio grows when he lies. Well, you may have downloaded the wrong Pinocchio.
yeah.
And I'm sure all of these have their adult parodies out there. They didn't have to wait for things to go into public domain.
No, they normally don't. And isn't there a version of one of the superhero movies that's actually more comic accurate than
Well,
the
I don't
actual
know
comic
about
book movie?
I don't know about the stories, but the costumes absolutely are. The costume. There was an adult parody of Captain Marvel, and I've only seen
Right.
one little scene that the main actress who looks like a perfectly good Captain Marvel. She says something about unlike some Captain Marvels, at least my costume is comic accurate, and I'm looking at it going, she's right, it is.
Nice.
Marvel.
Yeah.
What is the state of Marvel? I guess Fantastic Four had another trailer run get unveiled this week.
Yeah, I mean they really need these upcoming movies to hit. The thing that's about Fantastic Four and Thunderbolts that I'll give it credit for is we never heard of like reshoots being done or any issues behind the scenes. They seem to both went through principal photography pretty smoothly. Now, with Fantastic Four, the fact that you have the actors shooting their mouths off the way they have been, that's not going to help.
Nope.
Thunderbolts, I think Thunderbolts might have a chance. We'll see. It kind of depends on how much money they spent making it. I don't think it's going to be like a big. I don't think it's going to be $1 billion or anything, not even close. But I think it has a better chance. But what will happen though is this is going to hurt Doomsday. And when that tanks, and I think it's going to, that's when they're going to wake up and realize what they've done. And then they'll blame fans.
Right.
To get out of it.
Which should really help. Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll blame they'll blame the YouTubers probably, right?
Oh, of course.
I have a question though. It had a weird like cast. It's like they're throwing. It's like I'm supposed to be impressed with this cast, but it's like they're getting Alan Cummings back as Nightcrawler, which feels weird to me because that movie was made how long ago? X2, X-Men United, early 2000s. Was it like 2003?
Something like that, yeah. My thinking is that it's obviously going to be some sort of multiverse situation.
Okay.
And that's how they're going to bring everybody in, because you're also, among others, you're also bringing in the Channing Tatum Gambit from Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yes.
But oddly, none of the other characters from that, which is weird.
Well, they can't afford
that we haven't been. I'm sure they probably can't, you know.
And then we have. Is Professor X coming? Oh yeah, Professor X is going to be in it again.
Yeah,
and I'm saying, are we going to see Professor X get killed again?
Probably.
For the 4th time. Patrick Stewart has to die again for the 4th time. Technically, he died on Picard as well, didn't he? Because now he's a robot.
Yeah, and then they brought him back as a robot. So he's obviously, his characters just die and come back. He is the South Park Kenny of fandom.
He was also the voice of the poop emoji in the Emoji Movie.
He was proud of that, apparently.
Yeah, he mentioned it on one of the talk shows. I remember when he said that. I think it was on Craig Ferguson or something. He says, "I play poop," and then I was thinking in my head, yeah, you know, he's a knight, right? He's been knighted. He's playing poop.
Yeah.
I just was like, So Minecraft did very well.
Yeah, Minecraft did well. And,
have you seen it?
I've seen the work print.
Oh.
Which is obviously they don't have all of the special effects done yet. And in the credits, they didn't have anybody listed as a writer. Here's why. At different points, 28 screenwriters worked on that film.
Holy cow!
That's a lot.
Now, is there a point at which Hollywood says, look, there have been so many people that have worked on this, none of y'all actually did any significant amount of work?
I'm sure Phoebe Waller-Bridge's name was in there somewhere.
Now, my understanding is that in the final film, there's like 5 writers credited between screen story and screenplay. So I guess by the time they had finished the work print, they were still in the middle of arbitration and all that and deciding who did what. So, because you got to remember, this was something that they've been trying to do for a number of years.
Yeah.
So you don't have these 28 writers working on it all at once. These are guys who are just working on it over whatever the 8 or 10 or so years that they've been trying to get a movie off the ground.
Uh-huh.
You know, the
It was
movie itself, I've seen it. It's not aimed at me,
okay.
but it's inoffensive. There's no messaging in it. There's
It was the Napoleon Dynamite director made it, right?
yes.
Yeah, I did enjoy Napoleon Dynamite back in the day.
Mm.
Um, my favorite character in that movie was the uncle who kept saying, "If only the coach had put him in like third quarter or something." Right? He would have had a football career, and he always kept blaming the coach for that the whole movie. I'm thinking, no, you wouldn't have had a football career. I'm just saying. Uh,
Yeah.
any
But
good comedies on the horizon?
any good comedies? I don't know.
Anything that Disney does makes me laugh.
Um, Here's a new name. Kunta Matoya. Matoyer. Fantastic Four is going to be
Fantastic Four is going
phenomenal.
to be phenomenal. It's going to be a
Well,
phenomenal failure.
we'll see. It's like Jonathan Conroy was saying in the chat. Word of mouth will make or break the movies.
That's true. Yeah. It'll do as
So
well as the fans say. See, this is why I also don't understand why they keep antagonizing the fans, because really, word of mouth from the fans is what makes or breaks it. If first opening day, the YouTubers that we listen to and agree with say, yeah, this sucks, nobody's going to go see it. That's just all there is to it.
So yeah, I'll say this for Disney: they do lay out what they're working on, right?
Yeah.
They give timelines. Like other studios, I'm not so sure. Like Universal Studios, what's their next big movie coming out? I guess it's Jurassic Park, but I don't know. Wolfman, we already saw that already came out.
Yeah, and it wasn't really a Wolfman movie. It was more of a what's it called? Wendigo movie, if anything.
because
What's going on?
didn't look like
Nora
much
is
for
a good
sure.
comedy. So I've heard about Nora. What is this? I heard it got like awards or something.
It did. It got best picture, director, screenplay, editing, and actors all together. So yeah, it did.
Okay,
It
well, there
pretty
you
much
go.
was the big. It was the big winner of the night.
The actress passed on being in a Star Wars movie. That was a big news thing this week.
Yeah.
Yes.
Probably a
Yeah.
smart move. This is what I keep saying. If these people would learn, keep the hell away from Star Wars. It's better for your career. Jon Favreau, you should have gotten out a long time ago, you dumbass.
Why is he so over there? I mean, I guess it's money. I can't think of anything other reason because he doesn't have creative control over anything. So
Good for them. I don't know what he's giving up, I guess. I don't know.
I keep hearing the big rumor, but of course it's a rumor, is the Mandalorian and Grogu was his big send off, right? And then he's leaving.
Well, that's probably, you know what? There's probably that. He's probably got a lot of contract dollars tied up in it. So, and I didn't bring that up earlier tonight, but it's probably true. This is why he's got his head so far up the rat's ass, because he's under contract and he really doesn't have a choice. But it doesn't absolve him, in my opinion. You were a dumbass for signing that contract. You literally signed your soul over to the devil, or as Papa George said, the white slavers. So, if your career goes bust, that's all on you.
What happened to all those movies George Lucas was supposed to be working on after he sold Star Wars? He said he was going to make all these little small
That's
movies.
what he said.
Here's the thing, and that actually, and I could be totally wrong about this. This is just my opinion. This goes all the way back to the 70s with Zoetrope Studios. That's what Zoetrope Studios was supposed to be about. Was they were going to get these directors together, Coppola, Lucas, David Lynch was kind of on the fringes of that group. There's a couple of others. and they were all going to go out and make these small little independent movies. But what happened was you had Coppola sink all of the money into movies like One from the Heart that, didn't do well. And basically he spent all of the money and that he did not have enough for these smaller films anymore. Then you have Lucas go out and do Star Wars, and that was that. So they all say that they're going to go out, they're going to make these smaller movies. Lucas has done it, Coppola has said it, Cameron has said it. They never do. So I don't buy into it when they say that they're going to go back to their roots, because they never do. I wish they would. I want to see Coppola make a smaller movie again. I want to see James Cameron make a small character drama. I'm all for it. Go back to these independent roots where you came from. TH Section 1138, exactly. Go back and do these smaller movies. It's like after a while, they forget where they came from.
There's definitely that element.
That's the problem.
Matoyer talks about Novocaine. I haven't seen that. The only Novocaine I saw was the.
It's okay. It's got its moments. On the whole, it didn't work for me, but it's fine. There are people who dig it, and I understand why. It'll do okay. It didn't cost much to make. They'll make their money back for that one.
Yeah, but that's still not something you want to hear about a Hollywood studio. Oh, they'll make their money back for that. Well, yeah, maybe they should start making some movies that do make some money back. They are not doing a lot of that.
Well, that's the thing, is it's the ballooning budgets, and constantly having to go back. What hurts, like a Marvel film that doesn't make its money back, like, let's say, Captain America, or something like a Snow White. The problem is they spend so much money making these movies and reshooting everything 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
That's the problem, is that they set themselves up to fail. If they had just, and after seeing Snow White, I see what the issue is.
Mm-hmm.
Forget Rachel Ziegler or Peter Dinklage shooting their mouths off.
Yeah, there's more problems than just that. Yeah.
If they had just kept quiet, they would have saved themselves 100 to 150 million. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a movie that still wouldn't have made its money back.
True.
Because it, on its own, it does have it had. This was a movie that was ruined in the script stage. They just didn't have the movie. They decided to make Wicked Light out of it. And that's not what Snow White is.
I kept trying to figure out why it didn't go directly to Disney Plus, but then I figured it might have had something to do with, like, the whole Black Widow situation, where it was day and date and Scarlett Johansson. There must have been something in contracts about it.
There could have been a contract-related issue, but there was also, they needed to try to get every dollar they could possibly get back from that, because they were effed. But
the Pinocchio movie was direct to Disney Plus. That didn't get a theatrical release.
That did not cost as much.
Okay.
And it was not as long in the making with as many reshoots.
No, they didn't have to reshoot Pinocchio. No.
Are they doing Bambi live action? Disney, was that in the works?
I don't know if they're still going to do it. I mean, they canceled Tangled.
Yeah,
because they were
they
going to do a
canceled
live
Tangled
action
because
version of that.
and
So
it really looks like they're done with the live action films. What's the next one they've got coming out?
do they have one?
They were going to do an Aladdin sequel, but I believe that one
That one's
probably is
been
not
shelved,
happening because
too.
of the Will
That's
Smith
no.
slap thing.
Yeah.
So, and I think the pandemic threw that off as well. But I think they were planning a sequel to Aladdin, but I think the Will Smith slap thing stopped it. I'm trying to think what else. I don't think there's going to be another Lion King. I think they wrapped it up with the prequel they did.
Hello to a dig it out. Well, and thank you, Mario Heat. It's a new name I'm seeing. Lilo and Stitch is
That's
the
what it
next
was.
one.
Lilo and Stitch.
And
Thank
Moana.
you, Kunta.
Yeah.
That
And Moana. Yeah.
I don't know about
Okay.
Moana, but Lilo and Stitch has a lot of good press right now. It could actually do decently. And if that does well, unfortunately, that might get them doing live actions again.
I wouldn't mind seeing another Lilo and Stitch. I like
It
the
would
first
be a
movie.
live action remake. It wouldn't be a sequel.
Oh,
Yeah,
Is
how in the
theater?
world they managed that?
I know.
Yeah.
Mulan, that was a disaster. They did that.
Yeah.
It's another one they did.
The previous Moana film did okay. So the next one ought to do okay.
Disney needs a new
Well, it
animated
depends.
movie. Last one was Princess and the Frog. A new darker Mickey, kind of like Fantasia, would be great too. Yeah, but they they need the non-act to bring in some non-activists who can tell a good story. Look. This is the thing that people have to understand. We are not all in the same boat on YouTube. There are people who are just fine running down Disney. But I have always been of the mind that if Disney makes something good, which is what we want Disney to return to its former, um, good graces. But the problem is that they have people in charge right now who have their own agendas, let's say.
Yeah.
I want to see the Disney of old return. I think we all do,
Right.
Yeah, come back, make animated movies again.
Well,
But they're going to have to bring people in from the outside. Is my fear of that?
The problem with Princess and the Frog, that came out, and I had gone to see it, but it lost out. This was supposed to be the big triumphant return to traditional Disney animation, but it lost out to the Chipmunks, the Squeakquel, which I didn't see. Don't plan on seeing Chipmunks the Squeakquel, but at that point, that's the movie the parents chose to see. I don't know why they didn't want to go see a traditional Disney animated movie, but that was what they decided on. I mean, I thought Princess and the Frog was good. I preferred the stuff that took place in Nolans rather than the stuff that was in the Bayou. That was less interesting to me. It had a good villain. It was the last great Disney villain I saw was in that movie. Keith David did his voice. He kind of had that Nolans, I don't want to say like Baron Samedi, like he had the top hat and everything, and he was working with demons. So it was interesting. It had that whole hoodoo side to it,
right?
So it was interesting. And what killed me was it had a great song when he was talking about he has friends on the other side, and it's like a jazz song. And I kept thinking this should have been a full number. It only goes on for like a couple of lyrics. They should have made a full production out of that song. It was great.
Yeah.
But, oh well. 2 more Avatar sequels, though, huh?
Oh,
I didn't see the last one. Maybe I don't know.
Well,
See,
as long as they keep making money, I
I
guess.
only saw the first one because we did a watch party of it. Otherwise, I never would have watched it.
that was a huge deal when that came out in theaters.
It
That
was.
was,
Yeah.
and then Jenny Nicholson was acting like though it had no cultural relevance after it came out. Though that's what she was arguing. That she does a lot of Star
I
Wars
mean,
talking
kind of
shit.
true, yeah.
I don't know. I thought we were going to get an Alita was the next big passion project for
Right.
Cameron. We gave it over to Robert Rodriguez though because he was too busy with the Avatar projects. And that came out. I enjoyed that, but I don't know if I've ever seen a sequel to that ever. But
Yeah, and Hello to Darth Plato. Yeah, my issue with Avatar was that movie was very predictable. It's like I knew where that movie was going from the beginning, and it was just a matter of. It was almost like that movie was catching up to me. And if you're going to be a near 3-hour movie, and no, it just doesn't work. And then for
I
the
see what
Smurf
you
people,
did there,
please.
Kunta. Kunta says, happy 420,
420.
everybody, because it is
Yeah.
April 20th. Yeah.
okay.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So, Steven, were you paying attention to Star Wars Celebration this weekend? Did anything strike you?
no. all I knew is Kathleen Kennedy went out on stage and there was total silence.
That's funny. I hadn't heard
Yeah.
that. That's very
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, I officially gave up on Star Wars. I'm not interested. It's not my thing. The last
I
good
hear you.
the last good thing Star Wars related was Empire Strikes Back in 1980. That, as far as I'm concerned,
You didn't
I
even like Return of the Jedi, huh?
it is. I liked it at the time. Here's my thing. I have reevaluated Star Wars. And I know this is a hot take, but I don't think it's that good. Here's the thing. You have the original movie, which is a lot of fun to watch. But once you realize just how much of that movie has been stolen, whole cloth, shot for shot, line for line from other movies, kind of downgrades it.
What are you talking about? Like Kurosawa or something? Or
Yeah.
It's Hidden Fortress. There's a World War II movie called The Dam Busters that has that whole battle scene at the end is line for line, shot for shot.
It is. But I'll be honest with you, I disagree with why you don't like it. Those in and of themselves are not, I don't think those are enough reason. If it was that he had taken the whole movie and just shot for shot redid someone else's movie, I'd say yeah, that's useless. But he was drawing from things that you don't look at a World War II battle and go, I want to do something like this World War II battle. You just do that battle. You know, if that's a story you're trying to tell, that's the story you're trying to tell. He's trying to tell these archetypal stories, really, in another setting. And he is mixing together Kurosawa with World War II and some other things that he's interested in. That's really how storytelling is meant to be.
It's not
And
so much
how
that.
is it stealing if he is lifting this whole idea of the dam breakers? But anytime that Flash Gordon blows up a super weapon of Ming's, you know, that's not there's nothing new under heaven. There's just different ways of telling the same stories. And that's really what he did.
Yeah,
Skinamarink.
I mean, you
was
could say the
doing-
same thing about the classic miniseries V, right? And just say,
Mhm.
well, they're just retelling the story of the Holocaust. Yes, that's the point.
Yeah, that was the idea. Yeah, but it's not, and I don't want to come off like I'm harping on that. I would still rather watch episode 4 over most other movies today. I would, but so don't get me wrong there. I'm just saying that the way that Star Wars fans have been talked down to over the
Oh,
last
yeah.
few years
Absolutely.
made me go back and reevaluate it. And I am of the belief Star Wars is the most either grossly overrated film franchise in my lifetime, or I completely misunderstood the point of the whole thing.
Well, it's supposed to be a set of fun adventure movies. That's how I saw them, much in the same way as Indiana Jones was. Though funny enough, for some reason I always like watching the Indiana Jones movies with the Star Trek theatrical movies. I think they fit better with those two. Don't ask me why. But
Here's
yeah.
what it is, and this is why I'm feeling a little emotional about this, is because it's like being the nerd kid on the playground, and I like something that's nerdy, right? And the bigger kids come along and start picking on me and tearing it apart, saying it's stupid, it's for kids. What's wrong with you? Grow up. That's exactly what all of these execs over at Lucasfilm have been doing to us.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's like it's like I think Kurt Cobain made a point that the people who were liking his music in the concerts you saw were the people that picked on him in high school or something. It was like he had this weird thing. It's like it's like the thing you love that was considered nerdy, and then then the bullies take over and then pretend like they're the fans of it, and then they're ruining the thing that you love. That's how I sort of see a lot of this, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Mark's
Yeah.
absolutely right. There's a
No,
lot of
yeah, no,
also
he is.
cultural touchstones in there that, yeah, you could say it was lifted from Buddhism. You could say it was
Yeah,
lifted
but I
from
wish they
whatever.
had stuck to that.
They're
Is the
valuable.
thing.
Here's the thing.
They didn't stick to what made it good.
I think George wanted to wrap it up with Return of the Jedi. I had heard a while ago that the plan was that was going to finish off one trilogy, but then it would have continued on with another trilogy. Because I think I think the third one was going to come with his face down of Darth Vader, but then the second trilogy was going to be about him looking for his lost sister, with the Emperor following close in tow after him. Right? That's what I'd heard.
I also felt like, yeah, a lot of the plans that he originally had for his third trilogy, what would have chronologically been the third trilogy, he had compromised already by the time he got to Empire Strikes Back.
Mm.
And I really think that he didn't really see himself getting past Return of the Jedi. He was like, I got to wrap this up. And so one thing he did was he amalgamated Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader. Whether you believe it or not, that was not the original plan. He amalgamated Leia Organa and Luke's lost sister. Just put those two together. That was not the original plan either. You know. Oh, hey, thanks, DJ.
I thought it was going to be revealed, or at least my dad had the idea, not me personally, but he had the idea that it was going to be revealed that Darth Vader was a clone of Anakin Skywalker. So when he said, "I'm your father," well, it is true and it isn't. Do you understand?
Yeah.
But that obviously didn't happen.
That's interesting, Darth Plato. Leia as sister didn't come about until filming the throne room battle. Yeah, he needed a reason for him to get, angry. And it was hey, this is probably the last movie we're going to do. Let's just wrap it up here. Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Well, when Yoda in Empire Strikes Back says, "No, there is another," we have retroactively ascribed that to Leia, but they had a plan for another sister that was not shown prior.
Yes.
She would have been introduced later.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To keep the pseudo love triangle going, which I assume she picks Han anyway, but then it's revealed that he kissed his sister. But stuff happens. Right?
Yeah, you know what? Darth brings up a great point. That's the other thing. There was a lot of inspiration from Dune for Star Wars, and the idea of Luke and Leia as twins made a lot of sense. Because really, Luke's analog would be Leto II, right? And Leia would be Ghanima. Their names are even a little similar, right?
Mm,
Whereas Muad'Dib was your Anakin Skywalker character.
interesting.
Yeah.
And actually, did I say that wrong? I probably meant Leto the Third, right? Leto the Second was the baby that died, right?
Oh, right.
Yeah, technically, yeah.
See, it's been so long. I really should reread those books, especially with
then-
these new movies out.
And then people start turning into caterpillars and
Yeah.
what the fuck are they smoking? And
Was-
Yeah, I
70s.
always did imagine that the God Emperor Leto was very reminiscent of the hookah pipe smoking caterpillar from what is it? Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Alice's Adventures Through the Looking Glass and what she saw there.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Yes, that's what I was.
Rough.
I believe he would be. They're saying that Leto the Second was the emperor, so they didn't.
Yeah.
Call him Leto the Third. Okay, whatever.
All right.
So does the spice, yeah. And
All right.
In Twin Peaks, coffee is the spice.
Yes, that's true. Funny. Oh, all right, Steven. Sorry, I gotta head on out.
You gotta get going.
Yeah, but thank you for having me on. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And I'll see you Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you have coming up?
Oh, I'll just who knows, if I can, maybe I'll show up on Troy's special stream tomorrow. If not, you'll see me Tuesday, and then Friday I'm going to be on Last Call. We're going to be discussing David Tennant era Doctor Who.
Tennant years, yeah.
And then back with the Geeky Geezers on Sunday again. So cool.
Right on.
All right, man. Good night, everyone. And I'll see you next
time. Good night, Boomer.
Good night. Good night,
tomorrow.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Good night, Troy. Bye-bye.
So yeah, as far as the Toxic Avenger goes, Kunta, I don't know. Most of the movies are done generally by Big Al Presents and Netter's Network, and we don't have the Toxic Avenger in our catalog, so it's unlikely that Netter would be getting around to it. That's one that I might do on Monday night's members stream, but that's up to the members if they vote for it and they want it. I don't think I've even ever seen it.
But if we come across a copy, I would be showing it when I got to the T's in our collection.
Right,
I'm currently on F.
Yeah, so it
since
would be
I'm
a
on
while.
F, yeah, it would take a while.
But yeah, membership has its privileges. If you choose to become a member for as little as $2 a month, every week we vote on what movie we're going to watch on Monday night. I would be more than willing to throw that one into the hopper.
It sounds like a beer thing.
Hops, yes. Not much of a beer drinker, really.
Well, unless it's Guinness Stout.
And even that, not so much anymore. But, yeah.
Well, my partner in crime, the toxic gunslinger, the man who cannot be killed, Outlaw
Right.
Bill, has joined us in the chat. Says Star Wars, unless it's J.J. Abrams or for Kennedy to ruin her the franchise. Yeah. Yeah, the Disney stuff, I don't need it. I'm don't get me wrong, folks. I'm an OT guy. That's the story to me, and it didn't need to go. It didn't need to go beyond that. But when you get into stuff like the Acolyte in the Obi-Wan series, and I'm out. I don't need it.
Yeah.
Andor, I don't need to see it.
Especially when it starts stepping all over canon and
Yeah.
character development, which I suppose to a degree is canon, right?
I mean, they had it all laid out for them. They had the treatments that George Lucas wrote. They had the EU that all of the Star Wars fans more or less considered canon, right? They had
Yeah.
all of these to build from. They had Heir to the Empire. It was all right there in front of them, and they threw it away.
Yeah,
And then they threw the fans away.
pretty much.
And that's when I said, Namas, I'm done.
Yeah, I hear you.
Minecraft making killing at the box office. We were talking about that. Yeah, I'm not necessarily a Jack Black fan either, but he's tolerable in that. Hey, Minecraft, that movie's not my thing, but hey, I'm not going to argue with it. People like it. It's doing well. It seems it gave the theaters the shot in the arm they needed. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too big on Jack Black either. And in fact, this is and I'm not saying that Minecraft was good or bad. I don't know. I didn't see it, but I have said it looks more like Jumanji, and it should have been more like a Lego movie. In my opinion. And Darth Plato says he would defend. Except Andor, I'll defend Andor.
There are people who like Andor. Yeah.
I have heard great things about it. I just haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I guess I just haven't felt like investing after I had invested in The Mandalorian.
Yeah. I mean, The Mandalorian. The first two seasons of it, I'm fine with. I didn't even really dump on Boba Fett when we were talking about it.
Right.
I thought that had its good points.
I gave them every opportunity. I really did.
Yeah, but it's just Star Wars isn't for me anymore. If it ever was, so
yeah, I hear you.
I am personally moving on from it. I've got better things to do with my time. I don't even watch videos about Star Wars anymore. I don't bother with it. It's not my
Darth
thing.
says Mandalorian 1 and 2 were all right. It was simplistic though. At least it was unoffensive. It didn't trample canon. So yeah, I'm fine with it being simplistic. Just don't be bad. And that's a low bar that I'm setting there.
Well, and I'm not trying to defend Jack Black here, folks. I think that was the other guy in the band, Kyle, who made the Trump reference. But still, he's on stage.
Yeah, I don't even care about any of that. I've never been a big fan of his.
Yeah. Book of Boba Fett was a joke. Yeah, I can understand. I get it. Yeah. It could have been a lot better. Feel you. I'm starting to feel the same about Star Trek. Yeah. The newer Star Trek, I don't watch it either. You know,
Yeah.
I'll watch the OT stuff.
I've even
And
given
some of
that one.
and some of those early episodes are not great, but especially in season 3. Splash Brain.
Yeah,
Splash
that's true.
Splash Brain. I'm sorry. What was that? I'm sorry. To clear my throat.
Right.
Um, you know, yeah. I mean, the OT Star Trek, they did some goofy shit too. But,
True.
um, but I'll take it over. Like I said, again, I will take it over a lot of what's out there today. And that's the thing. Is I would rather watch the original Star Trek, the original MacGyver, um, these TV shows that were on when I was a kid. I would
Right.
rather watch those than anything that's on series television now, both commercial or streaming.
Yep.
Uh, Trek is in a worse place now than Star Wars. Then that's sad.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
that's the
no,
case.
it really is. I gave them every opportunity. I even tried to choke through a season or two of the Discovery. And like I said, despite what they did to the Klingons, there were some things I liked, but it's so divorced from Star Trek. It's Star Trek in name only, really.
Mark Malikoff says, I've started building my DVD library of older Trek shows. Troy was right. Better to have it physically. Yeah. I mean, we're proponents of physical media here. So, yeah, uh, uh, go for it. Wherever you can find it. Yeah, go for it. And I know, again, this is something that we are not condoning. But I've been giving some of these like bootleg sites a look.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
Y-
no,
You know,
and you know
um,
what? The opinions of Troy Pacelli and Last Call, do not necessarily reflect those of Deleted Scenes and his brand.
and vice
But
versa.
I will definitely go on record and say I absolutely endorse these bootleg sites because the only thing that they're selling is stuff that is no longer in print. If
Yeah.
you have a problem with that, movie companies, maybe you should start, looking at those sites and going, oh, people are interested in that. Maybe I should start putting those DVDs out again.
That's why we own physical media. All the films that are
That's what we're
behind me
saying.
when I'm
And if
live
you
and you can
don't have
see
it,
them.
get it from them. If it's out there on stream, you can always make your own physical media too.
Yeah, it's like when I'm live and you can see behind me all the bookcases behind me filled
Right.
with DVDs and Blu-rays. We own physical media. No one can take that away from us. They can't change the ending. They can't take out what they consider to be politically incorrect or
Right.
woke or non-woke or whatever the frick is that they're trying to do these days.
Right. Yep. Pretty much.
Yeah. So yeah, and with me, it would be basically something like, say I came across something on Netflix or Apple TV or something like that that was actually good. You know, because both of those streaming services are notorious for not putting their content out on video, and that's what's so good, and that's what I like about Shudder, and why I always sing their praises so much, because they get it. They get that people want the physical copy of the films, so they put it out there as soon as possible. And what these other streaming services don't seem to understand, what a lot of these studios don't seem to understand these days, is you are leaving money on the table.
Mm-hmm.
People want physical copies of the older, they would have made more money doing a 4K restoration of the original Snow White than making a whole other movie.
Yep, they sure would have. And this is another reason why Iger's got to go. He's got no freaking business sense. He can't manage, I don't know, an office petty cash.
And remember, this was a man who wanted to run our country at one point, and I think still does. Yeah. Nah. Netter is better. I agree.
Thank you.
All hail Netter. Netter is now taking over. The new host of Reserved Seats, Netter's Network. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
It's all you, Netter.
Oh, the way I'm feeling, yeah. I've had a low-grade fever all day, so I'm barely functioning.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then I get to work in the morning.
Right.
Yeah, we all have to work in the morning, so we've done the show. Let's start wrapping it up. It's been a long day. I think we're all tired. We all got to work in the morning. Let's get Netter to bed because she does have that fever. So, all right, folks. I know I was a little more vitriolic tonight than I had intended. But I want Star Trek and Star Wars and Disney to return to their former glory. And that's all I want. And I just want good entertainment again because, folks, I think you guys deserve it.
Damn right we do.
Yeah.
And you guys are the reason that I have a channel and why I do these shows. And whenever the fans are attacked, I see that as they are attacking you. And I don't think that's fair because I think you're good people. And you just want to go about your lives and you just want to be left alone. And you want good entertainment. Because there's something that they say in the movie Sinners. I watched that last night. And there's an interesting line that I think fits with what we've been saying tonight. You have these people who are, because this is a movie that takes place in Mississippi in 1932. You have basically these sharecroppers, these people who are working their fingers to the bone in the fields, literally, all week, who've got to make quotas. So the two brothers come along, Michael B. Jordan playing the twins. You know what? Let's build this juke joint because let's give them someplace where they can go and relax. They can sing, they can dance, they can listen to good music. They can drink, they can play cards. You unwind. That's what we do. We get up early in the morning. We go to work. We work all day. We take care of our homes. At the end of the night or at the end of the week, all we want is to just relax and be entertained. We don't want to be preached at. We don't want to be called names. We just want the Doctor Who and the Star Trek and the Star Wars and the Marvel that we grew up on. It's not hard. Just do what you were doing before the world went crazy.
Yeah.
That's all we ask for. We deserve it. That's what the show's about. That's what my channel's about.
Yeah.
So, all right. Netter, what do you have coming up?
Oh, let's see. Today's, well, now Monday.
Monday, yeah.
So I will be joining Troy with his members only night at the movies on Monday. And that'll be, is that 8 p.m., sweetie, or 9?
8 Central, 9
8
Eastern.
Central.
Yeah.
9 Eastern. And then on Tuesday, I will be on, well, right back here on Deleted Scenes channel for another exciting episode or so talk on Twin Peaks. This will be the epilogue to what we've been discussing.
Yep.
Right after that, I'll be on Troy's channel for another exciting episode of Blake 7. Thursday thing, I currently don't have a guest, so it's going to be me and Troy kind of shooting the breeze. And, if any of y'all are interested in being a guest on Thursday Things, all you have to do is shoot me a DM over on Twitter. You may have to follow me first in order to contact me because Twitter X, whatever you want to call it, is weird. Where sometimes you can contact me directly if you don't need to follow me. For some people said they've had to follow me first, so contact me and then unfollow me because I don't care. But then this way we can connect. I can get you onto the schedule and we can help grow your channels. We can talk about that thing that you're really excited about, that you want other people to know what you're really excited about. That would be great. Let's see. And then Saturday will be me, if I recall correctly. So that will be Footloose. Yeah. So we'll be watching that on Saturday. I think that's it for me for the week.
Yeah. Troy.
Yeah. So, like she said, no, seriously, tomorrow night. Yeah. Tomorrow night, live from Sparkwood in 21, 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern. 7:30-ish, 8:30 Eastern-ish, depending on what you've got coming up before that. But yes, we will be concluding the Secret History of Twin Peaks, followed immediately after by the last episode of Season 2 for Blake 7. They finally find Star 1. And little minor spoiler, the season ends on a cliffhanger. So if you've been enjoying this trek, you definitely want to join us for that on Tuesday night. Thursday night over on Netters. Friday night, last call with Troy Pacelli. Netter will be there. Boomer and I will be talking about the David Tennant years of Doctor Who. David Tennant gets his own last call, kind of like Tom Baker did. And that is, well, did you mention the Saturday movie? Movie over on, did you mention the Friday movie?
Oh, no, I forgot.
Friday, before last call, Netter and I will be joining Big Al and yourself, Deleted Scenes?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
For Return of the King, the Rankin and Bass cartoon. So that, what time is that happening?
That is 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central.
Eastern, 7 Central. Yeah, like he said. And, and then last call. And then I drink and we talk about Doctor Who. and then Saturday the Rankin and Bass, and then that comes around back to Saturday or Sunday. I'll be doing the Geeky Geezers at 8 Central, 9 Eastern with Aged Boomer. And now I'm done.
All right. Well, that brings things back around to myself. And let me get the list out real quick so I don't forget anything.
Right.
Because I had a busy week. All right. Well, let's see. Tomorrow night is mystery movie night. So that means Tuesday at 7 p.m. will be the Mystery Movie Night podcast. Since Corner has already RSVP'd, so she will be joining me. That'll be at the 7 p.m. Eastern. That will be 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. Of course, right after that, live from Sparkwood and 21 as we finish out the Secret History of Twin Peaks. Thursday at 4:30, I will be joining Outlaw Bill, who's in the chat with us, with Action Theater, and we're going to be watching Executive Decision with Kurt Russell. Later on that night, coming attractions, that will be at 11:30, or as soon as Thursday Things is completed, whichever comes first. Friday night, be joining Big Al Presents for Films with Friends. The Rankin and Bass Return to the King. That'll be at 8. Then Saturday, I'm going to be joining Bill again for Saturday night karaoke. Sunday, Bill and I again for Western Cinema Presents, and we're going to be watching a movie from 2022 called A Tale of Two Guns with Tom Berenger, Casper Van Dien, and Jeff Fahey. So looking forward to that. And unscripted, of course, 8 o'clock. And reserved seats. Same bat time, same bat channel. Mm-hmm. All right. Darth Plato, fun fact, Rohan horse charge is derived from John Sobieski's Polish cavalry charge against the Ottoman Turks in the Second Siege of Vienna in 1683. History's greatest cavalry charge. Right on. Darth Plato dropping the knowledge.
Yep.
All right. So I would like to thank everyone who joined us in the chat for the show. Also, everyone currently watching and following along on X. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. Please don't forget to hit the like, shout out the stream, and subscribe to our channels, Troy and Others channel, Boomer's channel, and mine. There seems to be a bit of a subscriber purge going on right now here on YouTube. So if you think that you are subscribed, please check and make sure that you still are. Make sure that the bell icon is activated so that you can receive notifications of upcoming shows. And stay tuned to all of our community tabs. We're usually pretty good about letting everyone know that live broadcasts are coming up, even though I think I forgot to do that for this one. So that's okay. There's still the replay. All right. Nutter, would you like to take us out with your final words?
Well, we probably are talking amongst ourselves because it's really late and most of the sensible ones have already gone to bed.
Well, yes.
Well, that's all well, good and fun. But it is so much more fun when you guys are joining us in the chat and you're dropping the comments and questions, trivia, being goofy. It's really just fun to be a part of all that with you. It doesn't feel like we're separated by miles in continents. It feels like we're we're sitting in our family room and we're just talking and having a great time. So thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting us and supporting our channels. I've said before, we don't do this for us. We do it for you. So thank you for continuing to come back. That means that you're being entertained, which is good. And if you ever have suggestions for any of our channels, let us know. We're happy to entertain them. But until next time, good night and God bless. And happy Easter.
Well,
now it's day after Easter.
Yeah.
Indeed. All right. And Troy, any last words?
Yeah, hit the like button on the way out. You know what? You can still share out the stream, because this stream will still be an interesting conversation to listen to later on. And you know, if you've enjoyed what you've heard tonight, maybe subscribe. If you really liked what you heard tonight, maybe become a member. Membership's got its perks, and it would really help us out a whole lot. That's all I got.
I think that deleted scenes guy totally sucked. No. Wrenches, if you see this deleted scenes guy in the chat, please give him a strong verbal warning. and if he keeps flapping his gums, please remove him from the chat. The new host of Reserved Seats Netters Network, thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for having me.
Something dark side, last call, whatever. I don't know. Deleted. Yeah, if you whatever. He's okay. I'm going to end the show now. All right. Thank you all once again for being here. Hope you enjoyed the show. From HQ and all points north, south, east, west, and beyond. Good night. Take care. Stay strong. Be safe and healthy. Yes, there will be more elevator music, Darth Plato, because the music I want to play keeps getting copyrighted, even though I bought the rights. You would be hearing Nocturnal Me by Echo and the Bunnymen right now, because this is the song I want to play for my late night show, but they won't let me play it, the bastards. Good night. This is how we win. Something like that. I don't know. I'm totally lost right now. There's going to be some footage coming up. There are birds in it. I like it. I will now play it. Good night.